price too high. I'm ready for a fight, never flight, but I wanna have fun all night. I could've took his girl if I wanted it, but I ain't into throwing dirty laundry in the public. I can always make something out of nothing, cause I know how it was when it wasn't. Falling ships of murder that she wrote. Combination, always drink and smoke. Apathy could help the way I roll, cause I'm selective on how much I show. Time will tell, don't show me what I know. Know your worth to only go for broke. You look good but act just like a hoe. You look good but I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. I really can't stress this enough. I always gotta keep it at a buck. I rather have money than lust, but I'ma look twice if she got a big butt. I have a hard time with trust. Part-time love is a new fine drug. It's okay, I'ma fill my cup. It's okay, I'ma still turn up. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing. I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. Why don't you just pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the dancing, I love the night. I've been searching, never flight, but I wanna have fun all night. I could've took his girl if I wanted it, but I ain't into throwing dirty laundry in the public. I can always make something out of nothing, cause I know how it was when it wasn't. Falling ships of murder that she wrote. Combination, always drink and smoke. Apathy could help the way I roll, cause I'm selective on how much I show. Time will tell, don't show me what I know. Know your worth to only go for broke. You look good but act just like a hoe. You look good but I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. I really can't stress this enough. I always gotta keep it at a buck. I rather have money than lust, but I'ma look twice if she got a big butt. I have a hard time with trust. Part-time love is a new fine drug. It's okay, I'ma fill my cup. It's okay, I'ma still turn up. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, to Barry White. I love the I love the night. Pull up, girl, the berry wine. You love to dance and you love to fight. Pull up, girl, the berry wine. I love the bands. I really want nothing but a good time. I ain't here for the fuck shit, paying no mind. If you're trying to show me substance, bring it on by. I really want nothing but a good time. Why don't you just pull up, girl, the berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, the berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night. Pull up, girl, the berry wine. You love the dancing, you love the fight. Pull up, girl, the berry wine. I love the dancing, I love the night.
I love you, Truth. My guy. Welcome to a brand new episode of Butterfly Blackout. I'm your host, Emily, along with Truth and Jeff. Maybe next week I'll say Jeff and Truth.
Rare form today, boy.
So, COVID still exists. There has been some issues with the J&J vaccine, people having blood clots, but reports say it was only 6 people with a rare clot issue, so nothing to worry about. There's even a pastor in Houston who's putting together this big program to get people vaccinated. So, you know, the government's using celebrities. They're putting a whole lot of money into advertisements. So, again, that includes your celebrities and even your faith leaders, people that you trust. So, if your pastor says go and get vaccinated, you're obviously going to go and get vaccinated because you trust your pastor to tell you, you know, good information. Listen, vaccines are a choice. No matter who's saying what, whatever it is you do, read, and you hear people say, because everybody has an opinion, and because this is America, everybody's entitled to an opinion. So with that being said, it's your choice. Don't ever feel like somebody's forcing you to do something. It's your choice if you want to be vaccinated or not. It's just that with that choice, there are consequences. Some of the consequences could be you may not be employed because your employer is requesting you to get vaccinated. And you may feel like, well, I'm not comfortable with being vaccinated by a drug that hasn't been FDA approved. You know, can I work from home until the FDA approves it? Then I'll go ahead and get vaccinated. It's a choice. You may not be able to travel. You may not be able to go from state to state. You may not be able to do a lot of things. But again, it's a choice. Now, for those of you that are concerned that, you know, something happens and you can't sue, we have a lot of drugs that are on the market. And a lot of these drugs, especially when you see commercials for them, they give you warnings that you may suffer brain aneurysm, you may suffer from kidney failure, blood clots, severe hematosis, I don't know, and then some stuff with big names, you know? But we still take those drugs, right? Because the severity of you having an issue by taking certain drugs is really a low percentage. Millions of women take birth control pills. And a lot of these birth control pills, and they tell you not to smoke, right? While you're on birth control because you increase your chances of doing or getting like certain issues or having certain issues like blood clots and all this other stuff. But people do it anyway. You know what I mean? I think when it comes to the COVID vaccine, because there's so many opinions out there, people are just going crazy, you know, and for the ones that were already scared, they're more scared. For ones that didn't give a crap, they still don't give a crap. Then you have the ones that will do whatever the government says to do because they are obedient. Then you have the ones on the right side who are just anti-everything right now because they don't want to mess with anything the left says. And the left is all about listening to Dr. Fauci, who in the beginning said not to wear a mask. But, hey, y'all do what you want to do. So I say all that to say, even I post things, right? I post things about the vaccine. There's been a report saying that vaccines are causing changes in the menstrual cycle. And there are reports that it's causing miscarriages. Do your research. Just because I put it out there doesn't mean that you can't research it for yourself. Just don't be coming at me because you feel like I'm spreading propaganda from, what's it called? The people that are for Trump. Is that QAnon? I was like, where'd that come from? Yes. So all I say is this. If you're thinking about getting the vaccine, do yourself a favor. Go to your doctor first. Find out, research what's in that vaccine. All the vaccines. Just find, there's only two, Moderna and Pfizer. Find out what's in their vaccines. Go to your doctor. Make sure that you're not going to have a reaction to them. Okay? And find out if you're at high risk or not. Because the reality is, some people may not even need to get the shot because it could be a reaction that they may not want. And maybe you can get a note from the doctor saying you're exempt. I don't know. They make up stuff every day, so you might as well make up something. While they want you to carry a passport vaccine card, you get the exempt card. I'm one of the few that's exempt. Some of you are thinking about starting a family for the first time. You really don't know what the reaction is going to be in a few years. So what are the chances of this hurting your unborn child, or what are the chances of you not being able to get pregnant? That's something that you have to ask and consider. And if it's a matter of 5 years, 10 years, then give people an exemption. That's it. Exempt them from getting the vaccine. And if it's for a period of 5 years, then let them re-examine, see where they are. And if they're ready to get vaccinated, then go ahead. It's that simple. We'll move on. This week was the Black Maternity Week. The White House's Vice President Harris had a roundtable discussion with Black women who have all had terrified. That's a terrific. Terrifying stories of miscarriages. And as you know, a lot of Black women, when we have issues with our health, and especially with giving birth and our menstrual periods, nobody really listens to us, you know? Someone said it best, that I know my body. So when I'm telling you something that's not right, or something I think isn't right, I expect you as a doctor to listen and to figure out what am I talking about versus just pushing me off to somebody else or saying don't worry about it. We feel like we're not being listened to. I had an issue last year with my body, and this year I made the conscious decision to get a new doctor because I felt like I wasn't being listened to. I even almost passed out. Called the doctor, and then they just put me to voicemail. And I think that was my last straw because I know my body. I know when something is wrong. Us women, so for you men, here's a freebie. Women know their bodies. Women know when something ain't right. Keep that mental note, okay? It'll save you child support. So, a lot of people, a lot of Black women feel like their doctors aren't hearing them. So when they're getting ready to prepare for childbirth and they're carrying a child in their belly, you know, they feel kind of off. They feel like some type of way. And then they go to their doctor and they say, listen, I'm not feeling right. Sometimes they're not even being heard. And then it ends up in a miscarriage, or it ends up in early childbirth, and yet you end up having a stillborn or the baby's dying because of some type of issue that nobody bothered to check because you said something wasn't right. We're like underserved. We're not being heard. We're not even being looked after or cared for. So in this panel, everybody had a different story. And as I was watching this, I was wondering, well, where's my best friend? She's a therapist, and she talks about this all the time. I didn't see not one person up there that was there from the profession of therapy. And I'm listening to these women tell their stories. And I'm traumatized because I felt like, first of all, honey, this is not the space for you to tell people. When I say these stories are horrific, if you heard the stories that these women, and it's on YouTube, if you heard their stories, you would feel some type of way and you would feel traumatized. You would need therapy after that. One woman was like taking breaths after she was talking or in between, because she was upset. And you can tell that it still affects her to this day. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out, where is the therapy part of this? You know, we can sit here and talk about how black women aren't being heard about their bodies, especially when it comes to fibroids, having a baby and all that. But where's the therapy part? Like for me, when I had my issue, I could tell you right now, I needed therapy. I probably still do. I was traumatized by it. I've never had anything like that happen to me before. Nobody was there to support me. Nobody was there to help me. I had to go get another doctor. I have to be my own advocate. You know what I mean? To help me get through something traumatic as what I was going through. Where is that? Where is that present? So I was talking to my best friend. She's a graduate of Howard. Ain't the VP an alumnus of Howard? So I'm thinking, if you spearheading this whole conversation, why didn't you go back, VP Harris, to Howard and recruit some folks from Howard that are in this field, especially for therapy services, and put them on the panel? Because at the end of the day, everybody up there needed therapy. It's kind of hard to have a conversation about a traumatic event, such as having to give birth to a child, and yet that child dies right then and there. And it's not all pictures and roses. It's not, oh my gosh, I can get glammed up and hold my baby. No. Some of these women don't even get to hold their babies. They're just told that here's a death certificate. Like, wait, what? Some of these women get 2 seconds with their child. Some of these women have to actually give birth to a stillborn. Some of these women deal with the baby dying inside and have to actually push that dead baby out. Not that they cut them open. Oh, and here's the other part too. Doctors always seem to want to cut us open. They never want to give us other solutions. It's always, no, we're just going to cut you open. So for me, they wanted to cut me open. It would have caused 6 weeks of me in bed to recover. Why are we so quick to cut people open? Now, if I haven't had an issue in forever, and this is my first time, cutting me open should not be the solution. There's got to be something else. But because I'm black, you don't give a crap. Because I'm at an age where you think I'm not going to have any more kids, it's all good for you. It's not good for me. I'm still young. Okay? I can still have children if I wanted to. I have a son. I'm blessed to have a son. What if I want more? My clock is still ticking. I have moments where I'm like, shoot, I want another one. And then he reminds me, my kid, of why I only have one. But this week was it shouldn't even be a week. It should be an everyday thing to discuss. Like, black people say Black History is every day of the year. Well, this is something that should be discussed every day. Mental health is a part of it. I need therapy listening to those stories, okay, because I'm traumatized. Now, watching those women, that was traumatic on its own. They need more therapy, because I don't even think some of them had therapy for this, okay? Shame on you, VP Harris, because you should never, ever, ever. That's just like telling a rape victim to tell your story. Why would you have a rape victim repeat what happened to her? Why would you have a mother repeat her having to relive going through losing her child in a horrific way? So not all births are pleasant. There are a lot of women, while we talk about, making abortion, health care, and it's everybody's right, especially for the black woman, and nobody pays attention that they always target black women when it comes to abortion. But we're so easy to let people know, hey, have an abortion. It's okay. If you get knocked up because you didn't wear a condom, or because you didn't pull out, or because whatever the excuse is, just go and have an abortion. There are actually women who are pregnant. They want to start a family. And even for those that are not married, they're pregnant. They're ready to give birth to their child. And while you're over there having yours vacuumed out of your body, they had to push a dead one out because the baby didn't survive, because they had an issue and nobody came to their rescue to help them resolve that issue. One lady had to go to the doctor, to several doctors, and then get her urine tested and found protein in her urine. And that alerted them to a few things. Her baby still died. Nobody's listening. Nobody cares. But it's all good if you can get in front of a camera and get these poor women to speak about their trauma. But then you don't have anybody from the medical field, or you don't have anybody from the mental field to help them, to at least explain some things, to give them a safe space. That wasn't a safe space to have that conversation. It wasn't. I felt some type of way. And I mean, this is where I say that the VP Harris, she failed. She failed us all. Because that's, I mean, you haven't even had children, have you? And I'm not knocking people who haven't had kids, but you can't, it's not, you don't understand. Now, I'm blessed to have one. I'm blessed that I had vaginal birth. I'm blessed that I was able to be present and I didn't have no major issues. But I can also tell you what was traumatizing for me. I wasn't allowed to hold my son because I had a fever. That was very traumatizing for me. Okay? And then he had to stay in the hospital for a week. Where was my mental health? Who was there to help me? Nobody. I was just told to go home and leave my baby there. And I could only visit him in the wing or whatever we were in. And then he was in this box with the blue light for a whole week. And then when he was ready to go home, I had to bring him home, and we had, it was like a blizzard in 2011. I was traumatized then, but I had nobody to help me. So, you know, I think we need to be more sympathetic to women in childbirth, but especially to Black women in childbirth. And, you know, let's have more conversations about abortions, because I'm starting to think that instead of people going around saying, let me have an abortion, give your baby up for an adoption. There are plenty of women that want to have a child and can't have a child. Let's make it easier to give these women babies. Just go ahead and have the baby, sign your rights over, and let someone adopt that child. Make it a smoother process instead of everybody going, or maybe, I don't know, how about instead of abortions, you use a condom? Okay? Stop talking about it feels so good. Somebody tried that with me. Oh, it feels so good without a condom. F you. Because 2 minutes later, exaggerating, 2 minutes later, you're going to worry about, oh, did I get you pregnant? Was you even inside, though? But you, that's a whole nother topic. But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying is, instead of having an abortion, how about y'all use protection or maybe not have sex at all? If you're that type of person who can't control themselves, just stop having sex and stop being sloppy with it. Okay? Because you never know. That aborted baby might be in that vaccine that's shot in your arm. Anyway.
Yeah, okay. Here's what you have to understand. So,
I didn't say, where are you coming from?
everyone's... Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I ain't going to tell you no truth. Go ahead.
No, I'm good. I'm just saying this. And what's uncomfortable for you is good for others. And a lot of times you need to hear stories like this to prevent you from, especially the younger generation, to go out there and think that, you know, sex is just intercourse. There's a lot that comes with it. There's something that can be left there, a child, an STD, so many other things. So hearing a lot of these stories, as horrific as they are, there are people that need to hear it to prepare themselves for, you know, what it comes with. It's not, oh man, look at those jeans and, he rocking the latest gear and everything else. A lot more comes with that,
So it's like a scared straight.
To not just like, you need to know that everything that comes involved in this. Like, someone posted something on social media this week. They're literally teaching third graders now about sexual intercourse, which I think is a wonderful thing.
I think that,
Yeah. You better prepare. They just think that it's just, oh man, it's the greatest thing ever to be that you're sexually active and this and that, and there's a lot that comes with it.
What grade?
You give your heart.
Why
You
the
give
hell are
your
you
heart and
teaching
your
kids in
soul to
third grade?
somebody, and to them,
Not 100% details.
Yeah.
Details of biology.
and you know, you think you're in love,
Taught
but
your son too.
yeah, you think you're in love, but that person just wants to relieve themselves. You need to really understand.
Okay, I found my glasses.
Yeah, I know. Congratulations.
They're in my pocket. Okay. I said I put them someplace that I knew I would go back to.
Whatever, dude.
Did you say whatever, dude?
Whatever, yes. Whatever.
Whatever,
Trying to go
dude.
back it up, he was looking like, oh.
Okay, so nowadays you can't walk around and start arguments in neighborhoods where you don't belong, or else a mob will show up at the aggressor's house and rally and get that person arrested. So if we could do that, if we could rally against a person being bullied, okay, let's just be specific. If we could rally around a white aggressor's house, get him arrested for bullying, allegedly, a black person, why aren't we going to drug homes or drug dealers' houses to rally and get them out of our neighborhoods?
The neighborhood drug dealing. So
Yeah. Yeah, that's the question I'm asking you.
My bad. That has happened. That has happened. I heard
Movies?
that. Well, movies picked up on the end of it that you would see that were focused like on certain times. In the 90s, Truth probably could tell you in his day in the 90s, maybe late 80s, early 2000s. That has happened. People did do that. Now, it's the reality. If that white guy came outside and he came outside shooting, get off my property, I feel unsafe. Bang, 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 self-defense, right? Fair enough, because he had the whole neighborhood on
Well, if he said, get off my property or I will shoot, then they will even be
And-
more aggressive, and then he would actually be in his right because he told you,
So fair
get
enough.
off my property.
So same thing with the drug dealer, because if you are not the police and we rallied, and the drug dealer will probably shoot you, if we're gonna go by the stereotypical role of a drug dealer, you get what I'm saying? The same thing could happen.
Should we be rallying against black on black crime?
That's a loaded question for me,
How's that a loaded question?
because I don't think it's black on black crime. I think it's just crime, because I think you need to be saying, should we be rallying against crime in poverty areas where all you do determine
Oh,
black
I'm
on
sorry.
black crime?
You know what? You all, my bad. Are we talking about black people, or are we being all inclusive? I need to know which one
You
we're
tell
talking
me.
about.
You tell me on this.
I want to be politically correct because we're living in a time where I don't know no more. Can we? I mean, for the sake of this, I'm talking about black on black, in our own neighborhoods.
in areas predominantly that are black,
Yes.
should we what? Well, go ahead, finish the question.
Should we be protesting the crimes, making
Don't
our
they?
neighborhoods safer, so our kids can walk around and not feel like they're gonna get shot at?
I thought they do protest that. When
Where
those
they do
guys-
that at?
When they, everywhere. When they were doing it in Chicago, when they just did some here about the two young men when they
Oh no,
protested everything there.
forget what's going on right now
You said
in
protesting.
general, without
Yeah.
having to be, forced to do so. Shouldn't we be trying to make our neighborhoods more safe?
Also, should we be turning around the streets, doing things,
Yes.
proactive things like that? Certain neighborhoods, yeah, we should be doing it. And if you ask certain community leaders, mayors, and all that other stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that is happening.
Okay.
I said if you ask them. Now, I'm not saying it's fast. I'm not saying it's 100% turnaround. You understand what I'm saying? So,
We,
go ahead.
we allowed white people to establish the no snitching in our neighborhoods. It wasn't done by black people. It was done by white people. You will sit there and continue to let someone continue to pee in your elevator, take your property value down, and continue to sell drugs, and have you and your child scared to walk to the corner store and knock yourselves out. And you wonder why, you can't do anything, you can't build, you can't prosper. You have all these other areas, more of these more expensive businesses are coming in, paying more money. No one's going to put their business in that area when they got to worry about their employees getting robbed or their restaurants getting robbed on a regular basis. If someone's doing wrong, say something. It ain't snitching to build yourself up. Is it snitching? As you get shot in the head, you know who did it. You don't say nothing.
I'm with you, but then if that's the case, if I'm not gonna say easy, but people grow up in these areas and they think it's normal for Brooklyn to look graffiti-fied.
Oh,
You
no.
get what I'm saying? They
White
think
women
it's
that
normal.
corrected that, boy.
But now I'm saying,
Yeah.
but now look. So one generation removed because they've been over there for about over 10 years,
Facts.
and now these little kids growing up and the walls ain't graffitied all
Nope.
up, and the
They
trains,
don't know nothing about the train
the
stations.
trains don't look
graffiti.
exactly.
Don't
Now
even
they're
know
like,
what's-
hey, this is nice.
Yep.
I get to see a Starbucks. I get to see something.
But
So again, it's what they allow themselves to grow up into. Now I'm with you if you pissing
you
in
hold,
the.
you hold
all
your
that.
community responsible for the community.
But-
Just like, like,
Right.
you shouldn't own a business in my community if you don't live in my community.
I give you
That's
that
not
too.
keeping, business.
I'm sorry, say
flowing.
that again, Truth.
You shouldn't have a business in my community if you don't live in my community.
I give you that too. But that's the leaders. But
Right,
again,
and
that
that's where
goes
they
down
gotta-
to the
and
leaders.
That's
They
what
allow
the mayor
that to
out
happen.
there in Patterson is doing. Saya. He started that when he was just an older man and stuff like that. You can't own a business. I forgot where he started before. I apologize. But you couldn't own a business in that community if you didn't have a property, a residence in that community.
Ooh.
That's how you make that area
I'm with you.
rich, exciting. Okay, I live here. I own a business here. I pay taxes here. My employees are from here. That
Like the police?
community rises.
Like the police, are the police from there? Do they live there? Does that
I don't
extend
think
to them
they
too?
do. Some counties
But
do
say,
that. Others
Patterson doesn't. Yeah, Patterson doesn't.
don't. Patterson does. But and that's the problem. So if you don't know anything about an area, like you take a person from up in the area of Mount Clair or something else, and then you put them smack dead in the fourth, they don't know nothing about that.
See, I feel like what we should, instead of this talk of removing police or getting rid of the police, I think we need to start having programs where
Proper
we
training.
start at the high school level and start, getting these young children or young teenagers into some type of program with the police and start training them from, especially those that have
To do what?
that want to become cops, put them in a program where from the age of probably 17 to maybe 25, they get all that they need out of, the training and everything to become an officer. And then they could be an officer in the town that they live in and automatically get a job.
So you want to make an 8-year program to become a police
I just
officer?
said that. I didn't do the math.
Well, no,
No, I'm with you.
overseas it's like 5-6 years.
So
Oh,
17,
sorry, it's
18,
2-year program.
17,
Yeah,
18,
yeah,
17 is generally the age of graduation of high school.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. And then they should get their college credits and still be on course. So it'd be almost like becoming a medical doctor. You do
Right.
you do your 6 years of school, then you do your 2 years of on the beat or whatever it is. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm with you. That's a great program. They will never allow that to happen because it takes too long to pass the money through. Well, with all those times, after the 2 years, you got to start paying them for something to be in that apprenticeship.
As a teenager, when they start, the program would be already funded. It would be, yes, a stipend or something.
Right? No, but then you have to pay them a check. Like after 17, 18, I'll give you 19. You would have to start paying.
But
them
if
some
you're
type
gonna
of check.
start, if you're gonna say it's part of a college credit or it's through some type of college or community college and it goes through that channel,
you
then-
still would have to pay them because the requirement would be the education. Like, we need you to have a master's degree. So this is part of the program with it. So up until then, while you're in your apprenticeship, you get what I'm saying? I'm getting X credits.
but they wouldn't be getting like a
blank,
6-figure
I'm getting
salary. They
this.
would get a very low
What-
scale
yeah, whatever,
pay.
whatever it is, yeah.
But they're on that course too. Like once you're in it, you're in it. If you want to be a cop, we're gonna train you.
I'm
And
with
then
you.
once they graduate, they automatically are hired to be cops in that town that they live in.
I'm with
And
you.
that way, these are the ones that know the streets.
Now,
These are the ones that know their people. And then the townspeople that live there, the residents, they're going to know who they are. And then they're going to establish a relationship with the police.
oh, they already
Because
have
now
them.
they know the police.
You want to
You
know how
know?
you force them to really? You wouldn't have not one shooting from the police if you do this, and I've talked about it for years. Instead of the lawsuits coming out of the taxpayers, make it come out of the police union. You start messing with you start
It will
messing with their
burn.
dot. I guarantee you, a dude loses a
will burn
bullet.
the footage,
A
homie.
dude loses a bullet, there'll be an issue or problem. Like because people are going in now. Because you have the gentleman who lost his life with a single shot. A 26-year-old veteran doesn't know the difference between a handgun and a taser. And then so now they're constantly posting. You had one white person who punched 2 police officers, stole the van, got away. Now 1 shot was done. You had one guy who literally jagged another police officer. They had him boxed in with vehicles.
Okay,
ran
let's have
all
this
of them.
conversation and get it out the way.
Huh?
She was an idiot cop. Okay, she doesn't need to be a cop, and whatever happens, happens. Let's talk about the real issue of that case.
Okay.
Why are you running from the cops? You already was in. You know you done. They sat there and told you there's a warrant out for what he did. So you know you're done, but you thought it was okay to run from the cops. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the fact that this kid assaulted somebody with a weapon. Okay?
On that same day?
No,
Whatever that warrant was for.
He had a warrant.
Okay?
And I understand
But
what
why
you're
are
saying.
you running from the cops, period? Let's address that. Oh, my son, why are you running from the cops, period? Okay? She's an idiot. That will be taken care of. Why are you, sir, running from the cops? These are 2 different things going on. They don't need to be rioting over this nonsense because, number one, it had nothing. It's not even a black and white situation. It happens to be he's half black, half white.
Mhm.
Is he half black, half white?
Yes, he is. His
It's
mother's white.
that he's half black, half white. So what are you going to say? I mean, if the kid was 100% white, the same thing would have still happened, right? Because he's half black, half white. Black side and a white side. She's an idiot, the cop. So what y'all sit here burning down your homes for, burning down and looting for what? Ask yourself, sir, you had a warrant. Why was you out there doing all this stuff? Why are you sitting here on your Facebook page with a gun? What are you doing? Okay? Why would you was already caught. So why were you running from the cops? Ask that question. Let's start asking the right questions and not the wrong questions, okay? And while you idiots out there burning down your neighborhoods, let's think about that, okay? What are you going to do with all that beer? What you going to do with all them TVs? What are you doing? Now, let's move on to something else. Adam Toledo. 13-year-old out at 2 a.m. with an adult. They out here, bang, 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 bang. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your children are?
Wait, where was this?
Chicago.
Okay.
Okay. So the officer's running after him. People said, oh, he was shot. He had no gun. Well, turns out he did have a gun. You have some that are on the side of the cop.
Allegedly.
You have some on the side of Adam Toledo.
Allegedly.
I've watched
Go ahead. This
this
is the
video
boy.
several times.
Okay.
And while I heard everybody's side, this is where my blood boils. I had one person justify the officer's actions, saying they have a split second. I don't know how many seconds they have to make a decision, which is like a life or death decision, right? The kid ran and stopped. Now, I listened to the video, listened to the cops several times. The officer said, show me your hands. Did y'all watch the video? The officer said, show me your hands. The kid tossed his gun, turned around, and did this. Where was the threat? Did you not tell him to show you his hands? So for all you sitting here telling me that the cop was not in the wrong, bullshit. You gave the kid instructions. Stop running. Show me your hands. The kid tossed the gun. You know he had a gun. You saw the gun. He turned around and showed you his hands. He didn't, now mind you, he didn't turn around and point a weapon at you, which would have then caused you to shoot. Don't give me that bullshit of you had a few seconds life or death. You shot to kill. Excuse me. Where was your threat? Where was your danger? You wasn't in any threat and you wasn't in any danger. You was probably out of breath from running. That was about it. Out your own damn mouth, you told him to show you his hands. Where was the threat? Your ass needs to be fired. Now, I don't know why y'all feel like you need to shoot to kill. You could just really injure somebody. Shoot at the kneecap. I don't give a fuck. Why are you always shooting to kill somebody? You told that boy, hands up, show me your hands. He showed you his hands and died just by showing you his hands. Yes, 13 years old, out at 2 a.m. with an older man. Don't nobody know why. Okay? He should have been in bed. Don't they have school in Chicago too? Okay? Did they start in-person learning? He's 13. But you know what? Take that up. Take that with the parents. I'm not his parent. I don't know. My kid was in bed sleep like the rest of these kids. Kids doing something he had no business doing. I trust to believe you knew your son wasn't even home, but that's another topic for another day. Officer, you told him to show you his hands, and that's what he did. Thank you for showing us the video because I heard what I heard. And the kid did and complied with what he asked him to. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I agree with you on this one. I agree. I'm happy we have the body cam footage. I'm happy the guys weren't able to cut this off or do something like that.
But see, that's the,
I'm
issue
with
with the whole thing, and you're wondering why a guy who's in the army, who's seen, battle, actually still drives a mile to a well-lit area. People are scared. Yeah, I mean, you got a man who's seen war, still scared when he see lights.
Yeah.
The first thing go to your mind is, I might die. Let me go to a well-lit area. And then, again, because of the body cam, you can clearly see that temporary plate in the window.
Oh, you're talking about a different case.
Yeah, but I'm
yeah.
just saying, so when people start all this, you wonder, well, why they're scared. This is why.
Because you're dealing with untrained professionals at these points in time. Like I said, I'm with you if you want to do an 8-year program for somebody to become a police officer and bump that. Pay them well. Give them 6 figures.
Yeah.
Get them 6 figures.
Oh, I
can
believe
get
that.
you- as long as I
I'm
can get you
with you.
trained,
As long as I can
and
get
you
you
on
on
the street right,
training.
I'm
I
all
watched,
yours.
what was it?
I got your back.
The Flint, it was the Flint, Michigan. It was a documentary about the police officers.
Yeah.
Flint PD, I think it was called, something like that on
Okay.
Netflix. I totally agree. I think they should be well compensated. During the program, I think they should have like a small figure, but once they actually cross over to become police officers, that's when they make their buck. But I feel like once you train them the proper way,
Yeah.
okay, and then place them in the neighborhoods, come on, you'll have that police community relationship that we've always wanted. You'll have the police out there calling you by your first name because they know who you are. You'll have the police out there knowing your families, knowing the children in that neighborhood, knowing the routes that they take to get home. Back in the day where you could have a cop here, have a conversation with a bunch of kids trying to figure out why you still out here because you could have been home 20 minutes ago because they know their schedule, so they know something's up. You know what I mean? Back to police community or community policing. You know, letting the cops walk the beat because they know the neighborhood and the relationship. They have a relationship with the people. And that's all we ever really want. But we respond better when we look at people like us. Representation, not other people coming in here showing that they're superior to us. Okay? When the majority of them got mental health issues anyway. And then on top of that, offer them some real help. Offer them some real help like mental services that you guys keep dipping out on. You don't let somebody back on the force until you get certification saying they can go back on the force. Okay? Because not everything needs to be dealt with a gun. Okay? Not everybody's out here trying to assassinate a cop. Not everybody's trying to get into trouble. Okay? People in the neighborhood know each other. So they can easily solve a situation. Why? Because your town will become boring? Because you ain't got no crimes? Don't we want to live in a town with no crimes anyway?
People pay good money to live in towns like that. See, that's the the reality of it. That will never happen.
It could happen. You said pay good money. I'll pay good money if I got my own people policing. I'll pay good money for my own people policing.
You can't
fix up our neighborhoods. Do that.
I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying most people in those areas don't. So let's put it this way: Paramus. You know Paramus, New Jersey. They get paid more than the state cops. That town has little crime. They damn near make crimes for them to go solve.
Mhm.
You know why they get
Why?
money? Because they have 3 malls paying for
Paramus.
more than all of Newark with all the big things.
Paramus got like 10 malls.
The high
Where at? I've only seen
Paramus
one.
has 3. Paramus has 3.
What's the other two?
The Plaza, Paramus Park, and Bergen. Well, what was Bergen Mall? Now the
Bergen
Bergen
Township.
Town Center.
Where the heck is the plaza?
Garden State Plaza, the big one that they.
Oh,
all
then
go
you
to?
should just call it the Garden State. Why y'all shortening the name? Call it by the real name.
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know
Jesus
that.
Christ. But so that income alone makes the town pay for the stuff.
Okay.
They don't even need as many cops. They don't have that many cops, first off, but they don't need that many. So I'm with you. But so like think about it. Like as Newark, or the rookiest cop gets paid more than the most the longest guy on the force over there. So for certain areas, but we all love to live in a quiet place. You would pay $5,000 a month in rent to go live in some quiet place that was beautiful. You know what I mean? Like we all love to live in those places. It unfortunately comes down to money, but I'm with you. That's why I said pay them all well, make those areas nice, and where we won't need that many police when you know them.
Well, R. Kelly is still alive. If anybody cares,
I believe.
do you care? COVID exists. R. Kelly was in jail, prison. Anyway, a federal judge has granted approval to move him to New York City for the sex trafficking trial.
Okay.
So you should all mark your calendars for August 9th.
Sex trafficking.
Because he took the young girl across state lines
The one that their parents allowed.
that were hitting them.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
As long as the parents is on trial too.
So here's an ignorant question, and I mean I'm just asking because I can't be the only one to want to ask this question. So do you think that he took time to finally learn how to read while he's been in prison? I mean come on, y'all. This would have been a perfect time to learn how to read, right? They got a library, right?
That's fucked up.
You getting below the belt, Obi.
That's not below the belt.
You getting below the
I'm not
belt.
the only one that was asking that question.
Really?
You mean to tell me you in prison this whole time so you don't get it in your head to maybe I should learn how to ABC?
Just learn how to ABC. What the heck?
I didn't say write. I said read. Writing's a whole nother thing.
Together. It
But
goes
writing's a whole
together.
nother. It's a whole nother course. You know
No,
what I
it's
mean?
not. It goes together.
It does go together, but for him, he may not be able to do that. He's so used
Come
to
on, bro.
dictating and having somebody write for him. I mean, I'm just trying to help a brother out. Like, listen,
Well, he's
because at
minus-
some point, don't you want to read what your lawyer is writing? I mean, he's not going to be like the ex-officer Chauvin and write his own notes. He can't write. So what notes can he? So he ain't going to be writing no notes.
That's
Yeah.
fucked up.
Yeah. You
Well, he
wrong,
hurt
bro.
right now, man. My man is minus $2 million right now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Minus $2 million.
yeah.
Like you owe more money than Dame Dash. That's saying something.
Oh man.
Wow.
All right, so let's just say this. If they let the cameras in and we see him sitting there, right?
Shut up.
Just watch to see if they put a notepad in front of him with a pen and see what happens. And then somebody zoom in to see if he wrote something. Listen.
He gonna be writing dots, Morse code. That's how you know this is an A, that's a B, 2 dots for B, 3 dots for C.
Yeah, can you read this back to me, please? She wouldn't know if he was guilty or not.
Oh snap!
Was guilty? Guilty.
Y'all go to hell for that one. That's what y'all to do. Gasoline drawers on.
I'm just saying. So whoever's in the courtroom,
Oh God.
I know you're not allowed to have your phones out because it'll get confiscated. But just everybody be mindful. If we get to see him there, look to see if there's a notepad in front of him and a pen. Just see if he starts writing something. And if he does, everybody look to see somebody take a photo, see what he wrote. Listen, all this time they took away the Dr. Seuss books. So what are good books to learn how to read with?
Did you say Dr.
I ain't fucking with her. That's so
Jesus.
wow.
Anyway, let's talk about mommy makeover. So
Fish?
I had a son, and back in 2010, I was pregnant, And it never occurred to me to have a mommy makeover. I was encouraged to go to the gym, work out. I guess that's my mommy makeover. What is so funny?
Said I was encouraged.
Who encouraged you to go to the gym while you were
Anyways, you assholes. See,
What? Yeah,
first
I'm
of all, that's
just
not what you're supposed to do.
I didn't do it.
You're
I
immature.
didn't even do it. You could lose about 25, 30. Nigga, I'm pregnant. Nigga, I'm pregnant.
Yo.
That's rough.
So, but for some people, they have to go and get surgeries, okay? Because they can't be bothered with lifting weights and going to the gym.
Mhm.
They have to take the shortcut, and then what they do is it's all a scam. They go to like Dr. Miami or somebody, get things sucked out or whatever, and they come back looking beautiful and snatched. And then they may want to post a video of them in a gym and make it look like they did something, but really they just paid thousands of dollars to get that look, right? Love and Hip Hop's LA version of the show, Hazel Lee. She got married. She had a baby. She decided to fly to Turkey.
Turkey? Is she Turkish?
No. She decided to fly to Turkey to get her mommy makeover because, you know,
Oh, the country.
going to the gym
Yeah.
is so difficult. You know what I mean? Her life is so much that, I mean, here's the thing. All the doctors in the world have done wonders for the Kardashian clan, but yet they still managed to work out. So, but for Hazel, she can't be bothered. She went all the way to Turkey for a mommy makeover. Now I was like, you couldn't go to Dr. Miami? Maybe you have an unpaid bill. That's why you can't go to Dr. Miami. I just thought about that now.
Shots.
That makes sense because why would you go to Turkey when Dr. Miami's in Miami? Like everybody goes to Dr. Miami. You ain't pay that bill, so you couldn't go. Now it makes sense. So she ran into a little issue. She was supposed to go there, tour with the family, and then get the surgery and come back to the Americas. But she ended up suffering some complications. She went on IG because, you know, people got to document everything and tell you all their business just so they can get them numbers up, honey. Well, unfortunately, she had fake breasts. Okay, obviously. They started leaking a lot. The fluid came out. So she had to get her breast removed. And then they reconstructed and gave her new breasts. But in her live, she was crying about how, you know, she had the best breasts in the world. She had these really big, awesome breasts. And she was so upset that they had to be removed. But she also sent out a thank you for everybody who prayed for her because, you know, celebrities, they go on these platforms and they ask for strangers to pray for them. Okay. But she's back in the Americas now. I really don't know if y'all care about this story because I don't care about this story, but this is what they want us to care about. It's a distraction. So there's a woman out there who was on a show. Basically, she thinks she's everything. She used to be on Eon Let's Fix My Life, and obviously her life hasn't been fixed. She went to Turkey instead of Dr. Miami, who's right there in Miami, Florida, but she had to fly to Turkey to go and get... Hold up, bitch. You went to Dubai.
Okay.
You was on that, what is it called?
The camel? The camel
No. The AV.
Oh, the ATV? The little bikes?
Hold up! So, wait a minute, Hazel. You went to Turkey to get your mommy makeover, bitch. You was in Dubai. You was on an AV. You tripped and busted your nose. You went to another doctor in Miami, in California, who did your reconstruction because I followed his ass on Snapchat, right? You couldn't go to him for your mommy makeover. Do you owe a bill? Because I know that he does a lot of, shoot, I wanted to go to him. He does a lot of non-invasive breast lift and stuff like that. Like he can go through take your nipples off and go through that way. So whereas, you know, some people have to wait days or weeks before they can really do stuff, like you could lift your arms in the next few hours. You know, he does non-invasive work. I mean, he still takes it off and puts it back on, but it's not as horrific as the others. I need answers. You have Dr. Miami that everybody goes to. Maybe he was booked. I forgot the doctor's name, but there's a doctor in LA that you went to that helped put your nose back together, right? Because it was very graphic. The nose is very interesting. Like, you have like a whole bunch of stuff that's
Oh, the bones. Yeah.
yes. I was like, and then the eyes it's disgusting. But yes, I remember when you busted your nose. See, you thinking people don't remember that. And people made fun of you, and I was like, if you saw the pictures of what you went through, I even defended you because that was horrific. I'm surprised you were still alive after that. Okay, and I could understand she couldn't breathe. It was that whole situation. But you couldn't go to him unless if, again, you didn't pay your bill. But you went to Turkey for a mommy makeover and you only had one kid. So do you plan on having another kid? Is this going to be a thing? You have a kid, mommy makeover. Have a kid, mommy makeover. Then what you having a kid for? Guess what? Your body goes through things, okay? When you have a kid, your body changes. That's what we're made for. That's why you have grown men trying to be women. Okay? But they can't do what we do. Unless they implant it inside them to force them. Okay, that's why you have women who don't like being women, wanting to be men to say that men can have birth too. Our bodies are made a certain way. Science, everybody says trust the science. Science is a lie. Science tells us that a woman's body is her temple. You can get me pregnant, okay? I can carry. But guess what? My stomach will stretch. Stretch marks. You get that. Things happen. You share a body with a little person, okay? The baby takes everything from you. Some women lose their hair during childbirth. Some women, I had a neighbor, she lost her tooth. What? It was crazy.
Possible, yeah.
I was like, the changes, it was horrible. Her hair was falling out. Her teeth were getting loose. Like,
Oh, she wasn't taking no vitamins.
I was like, that meant to me, that said you wasn't supposed to have this child. It's going to be Satan's child or something because it's taking everything from you. She was cute before, but then she started looking ugly. Woo! She's still around, she ain't with that man, and that was a messed up situation too because she was with this man who, his claim to fame, he tried out for the football NFL, but he ain't make the team. But he had a good-looking body. Women threw themselves at him. When she was at work, he'd bring them up to the apartment, and they'd be screwing. He screwed the neighbor. It's like a whole situation. And yet, like, he even introduced her to his new lover and called his lover his cousin. Like, brought the woman to the house and said, "Oh, that's my cousin."
Hey, she fell for it.
He brought the lover to the house and said, "Honey, this is my cousin. You my cousin for today." Like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I got off subject. But anyway,
You really
Hazel
did.
Edie, yo, for real, girl, I just want to know why you couldn't go to Dr. Miami or back to the other guy that fixed your nose. He did a good job with your nose. And he does all that extra stuff. He could give you a butt. He could take out the fat from your stomach. What's the problem? And then he really could have helped you with your breasts. I mean, I'm sure you saw his other videos.
Wait, is that why she went to Turkey in the first place for the breasts?
No, she went for her mommy makeover. I don't know what the heck she
and
was
then the
trying to
breast
get at.
just
It's like a
happened.
whole, when they say mommy makeover, it's a whole thing. It's like a suck in, pull, and tug or
Right,
whatever.
but the breast just happened. That was an accident.
I have no idea.
The leaking.
I
that
have
was
no
accident.
idea. I really don't care. It was fake boobs. Tell me when you have problems with your real ones. You sat there and cried on camera talking about you had the biggest breasts ever. And I'm like, there are women out there losing their breasts because of illness. Lady, I'm sympathetic like that. I don't feel like you should brag about stuff knowing that there are people out there that at the age of 15 are losing their breasts. Oh, I had the biggest breasts ever. Go sit down someplace that you're out of touch. I don't like stuff like that. That irritates me. Ugh. But anyway, I'm pretty sure she's her management, whoever is her management team. I'm still trying to figure out how you snagged the husband because you was even on, what was it, couples therapy? No. Yeah, couples therapy on VH1.
Yeah.
Yeah, you was on that too. Girl, I don't know how you trapped him, but you trapped him. Y'all had this child, and his dumb ass and the kid went with you to Turkey. I would left your ass in Turkey.
Did they bring cameras to Turkey?
Her phone, she was going to document everything.
Oh.
And she was, so here's the other part to the story. So she got a castmate, Brandy Glensville. What is her last name? She was Whitney Houston's goddaughter. Why are you laughing?
I don't know who she is.
Yo, he said that like we supposed to know. That's when he used his hairstylist. Oh, Tracy, but nobody know her.
Okay, hold on.
They really digging out the bottom of the barrel, huh?
No, it was.
Y'all need to watch photos of before and after photos of that young lady.
Yeah.
If you can get, because we did a story on her back in 2015. She was gorgeous.
Hazel Lee.
Hazel Heat was beautiful.
Before she fucked herself up. But listen,
Then she went to Cali, and that was it.
Brandy
Good.
Boyd is her name. Brandy Boyd is her castmate, and that was Whitney Houston's goddaughter. Okay, now she's having a third child by her husband, and she's in the hospital suffering from complications. And she went on social media crying her eyes out because apparently she's the one that recommended the doctor in Turkey that Hazel Lee went to. Okay, because God forbid you should choose one like Dr. Miami or the man that fixed your nose.
Probably dumb cheap. It's price. It's price, man.
Oh, you wanted a mommy makeover for
For
Basi-
$4,000. That's it. I want to get everything done for $4,000. Yep.
okay.
It's sad.
So she writes, I am deeply hurt and terrified by what happened to a good friend of mine, Hazel E., and her family. This is a lesson to do your homework or have real life experience before recommending doctors and
Do your
surgical
homework.
cells to your loved ones. I feel responsible by telling her about this dangerous, unethical practice. We will all do whatever I can to help Hazel and other mommy makeover victims. It's called comfort zone surgery.
Yeah.
Or you could have just gone to Dr. Miami because that's what he does in his sleep. Or you could have I think there used to be a plastic surgeon on one of the Housewives show. You could have hit him up. Or you could have gone to the doctor that fixed your nose because you're already patient. The only reason I can think of is that you didn't pay that bill. And they ain't servicing you until you pay that money. Because I'm trying to figure out how you make money. How do you make money? Where's your income coming from?
VH1 or whatever. Whoever's
But
on
I
there.
mean, do they play her shows anymore? I mean, let's think about this for a second.
They'll get
I
that.
don't know if you get a check from them.
Yeah.
You were supposed to be helping people with their businesses, but then you didn't want to be a publisher or whatever it was, or whatever the heck it was you did. You tried to be a rapper at one point. Ain't nobody bite. So what is it that you do? I know you got a check from VH1, but you probably spent that already. So, because you know when you go on these shows,
Yep.
I think they give you like $80,000.
It depends. If you were
No,
that
she
a
ain't- she
season
ain't getting
regular,
80.
you probably get more.
She get less.
Less.
The ones that were getting the most actually got the most payout was Stevie J and Jocelyn. And that was, I think,
Jocelyn made a lot of
80,
money.
90, or I think it was like 127, whatever. So,
Tanisha Thomas from Bad Girls Club, she got 80,000.
yeah, Stevie and I think Stevie and Jocelyn got 127, I think it is. But her character isn't that strong. She's on it because she needs a check. I mean, what does she? She's not good at business. At least the other fake one, her mom's owns like 5,000 strip clubs. Like they at least have money, but like
Gotta
she
invest it.
just brings. She's the Collie Red, I would say. Well, she's the broke Collie Red, I would say, of the LA one. She's the one that causes the issue because at least Collie Red got businesses.
Yeah.
She got like something to bring other money outside of what she's doing.
You guys are hilarious. Okay, so real quick, if anybody's missing, Sharon Osbourne, she rest in peace from The Talk. She did do an interview to talk about her, exposure of being a racist. And she says, I'm angry, I'm hurt. I've been called so many things in my life, but a racist is one thing I will not take. It's not fair because it isn't about being a racist. It's about maybe not knowing what is correct and woke for your language that day because it changes from day to day. I'm going to be just fine. I'm fine. As I said, I'm a fighter. I'm fine. Thoughts on her saying it's about not knowing what is correct and woke for your language that day because it changes from day to day.
I don't know, man.
Well, here's the thing: you can't ask me questions about certain aspects of certain lifestyles that I haven't experienced, and You know, and this is why I thought shows like that were good because you have different people from different walks of life. But what happens is you have people that not I'm not saying they're dumb or sick, stupid or ignorant. That they just really don't know racism because they haven't been around it, they haven't experienced it. Just like we could say, well, I got pulled over or I got stopped because I was black, and white people say, well, I don't see how that's possible. You never will because you're not black. You'll never experience that feeling. You'll never have that feeling.
Right.
So there's certain times where you shouldn't comment, or you should be, you should really think a little harder about the way you want to converse about that. Like there are certain topics, it'd be like, you know what, that's not my field. I'm good. Like I understand. Okay, you nod your head. But when you get overly cocky, you want to just put your foot in your mouth. This is what happens.
Yeah, she could have saved the butt with one sentence. I mean, I get it. You played that point, but when you grow up your life and your whole life, and you don't understand how you can be a bigot or your views be changed and seen, then you're ignorant to that fact, and that's it.
Okay, put up that picture. What do you see?
A kid that has a moment he'll remember.
That's
the
a
rest of his
dude.
life.
That's a dude. That's a It's not the transsexual holding the kid at the party.
Wow.
You uncomfortable, right? So this was taken at the Palace. The Palace is located in Miami. It is the number one drag bar and restaurant in Miami Beach.
Yes.
So our friend to the show, friend of my head, Angela Stanton King, who's actually going on tour called the Real Talk Tour, which I will be attending. You should come with me.
Who?
Come with you.
Me.
Weird.
You.
Come with
Me.
you. Weird.
Yes.
Why should I
Why
go
you
with you?
seem like you scared? We'll talk behind the scenes. My gosh. Anyways, so she was at this particular bar, okay? And all was good until the drag queen stripper pulls two little girls, onto the stage and has them dancing and picking up money. And so she went off, as she should, because first of all, why are kids...
Did she get her money back? That's what I want to know.
No, these kids were talking about 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old kids.
Did she make sure the little kids get the money back after she finished arguing?
No, because she asked the owner. She wanted to know why were they like kids in here? Because this is not a kids thing. This is grown adults.
Well, it's a restaurant, right?
It's a drag bar. They have a show. She said there were even two guys. I guess they were drag guys or whatever.
Well, I'm sure, yeah.
Giving lap dances, and they were right next to kids, like gyrating and everything. So, you need ID to get in. So she was asking, do the kids need ID, birth certificates to get in? What is this? Is this some type of form of child abuse? Like, what is this? Are we now normalizing and saying this is okay for little kids to witness and be hugged up by a trans with a boob job, damn near naked, probably got pasties on?
So, I'm going to say this. Angela would 100% win her argument if she just said the sexual activity with children. Never mind it being specific, transsexual, homosexual. I don't care. Just because if that was a regular stripper place and I took your 10-year-old son to a go-go bar, you get what I'm saying? It's the same energy. Like, whoa, what's little man doing in here? And, the stripper now bouncing her chest on his face. Right? It would have been the same energy. They're going to sell it like this, like a lot of clubs do, that are restaurants, bar things. It's like, what do you call it? Dave & Buster's. Yes, at 10 o'clock, we require you to have ID. But if I bring little man in there at 8 o'clock and we start eating in there, and then that's the time when the dancers come out and everybody does their gyrating, performing, then the children are there. Nobody's kicking us out yet. So I'm with you. Like, yo, why the kids still here? Why the kids still here?
Okay, I get that part, but as a parent.
Why would you go there? That's the question. Why would you go there? It's the same thing I'm asking her. Why would you go there if you know?
But it's adult entertainment. I get why she's there. It's adult entertainment. I probably would go to see a drag. Well, I didn't know that they were doing all that. I would tend to think that they were actually doing like a regular drag show. They probably have people dressed up as entertainers and they actually do their lip singing and stuff like that. But this right here, I draw the line when I see kids. Now, these are what I saw in the videos. These are some white kids. So, white people, y'all are okay with this? Like, you let your kids? I'm confused. And I get a lot of parents want to have their night out. They don't have a babysitter and they want to still have their fun. Well, guess what? You chose to have these kids. Not my problem that you don't have a babysitter. You went on vacation. Not my problem you couldn't afford to bring the babysitter with you unless if that's the babysitter you are having sexual activity with, so you couldn't bring the babysitter. Not my problem. My problem is that these kids are being exposed to something. And again, these kids, who is fighting for our children?
Should be your parents. But if
They don't have any protection. We're saying it's okay to go to a drag queen show. We're saying it's okay that this is a grown-ass man with fake breasts, shaking it in front of and slapping your kid around, got your kid up. Come on, man. Mind you, this is a black Dominican, whoever this is, whatever it is, you brown skin. And this is a white kid. Should something happen, guess what? You're lynched. Not the parents, not the white kid, because at the end of the day, your color still matters. Because we're not all united. We're all not equal. Okay? We'll talk about that at another time. I'm still doing research on something I found very disturbing. So, with that being said, until next time.